Hey everybody, welcome to Geekoholics Anonymous episode 90. I'm your host Rico, here with my co-host
Dane Cody.
We get together once a week, talk about video games, TV, movies, whatever the hell we like, and crazy Japanese Nintendo Switch presentations. Dane, that was quite the show.
That was. We are sitting here, we just finished watching the Nintendo Switch presentation.
Live from Japan.
Yes, so we were recording this a little later than usual so that we could get our impressions to you right away.
Do you want to do this out of order before everything?
That's just crazy talk, but I like it.
Actually, before I even do that, welcome back, all returning listeners. We appreciate you lending us your ear holes for an hour or two. New listeners, thank you for tuning in. YouTube listeners, also, thank you for listening. It's nothing really to watch on the YouTube version of this, so if you are watching on YouTube, subscribe to us in your podcast app. Like us on iTunes. I left the door to the podcast room open.
Oh, man. Your dog's going to come down there and start humping your leg.
Let's start the show with the designated drinking section.
Hey, Rick.
What?
Are you drinking something tonight, maybe? Is that what that terrible racket is?
It's my Joycon controller. The ice cubes in my Joycon controller.
You mean your Joy-Con controller?
Joycon was the Namco Ridge Racer controller. I had one of those.
I was real confused what the hell you're talking about for half a second.
That's an actual controller.
I'm aware.
Yes, I am drinking some Hennessy.
Really?
Yep. Over a nice big,
classy mofo.
Big ass cold rock, but it's long gone because I finished it an hour ago.
Oh, so you just have remnants of your rock left? Is that what that is?
Yep, just rock water.
You didn't refill when we took a break in between?
I didn't refill. I don't want to go upstairs.
Fair enough.
I had enough. The cup was pretty full, and I feel very good right now.
Well, thanks for joining me today. I'm drinking a little Devil's Cut bourbon. It's delicious.
Nice.
Yep.
So,
that's what I'm drinking.
Obviously, we watched this presentation for the Nintendo Switch.
We did.
All the information is out there. Not really. But we do have...
Not really at all, actually.
We have a release date. We have a price. We have a what's in the box.
Yeah, that stuff's all exciting.
We have some what the fuck moments from some game reveals.
And, we have some what the fuck are you going to be playing at launch besides Zelda?
And yes, the big, most important bomb, Zelda Breath of the Wild, confirmed as a launch title. So March 3rd is release date. Literally like a month and a half from now.
Yeah, that's scary soon.
Pre-orders are not open yet. They're probably all going to have been gone by the time you're listening to this. $2.99 American, which
we don't know what that turns out to be Canadian.
I think it's going to be $3.79 because that's the Xbox is $2.99 American and it's $3.79 for the base Xbox.
That sounds right.
So it's the same price as an Xbox One S and a PlayStation 4 Slim.
Wow. That's a hard price point, man. I don't know. I just want to say, like, okay, before we start getting into nitty-gritty details, so we have a price now, we have a launch day, we've just dropped those on you. Rick, I gotta ask in a sentence or in a paragraph or less, what do you think about the Nintendo Switch after watching their presentation?
I don't know. I still want one. Zelda looks amazing and I want that portability, but I was also very confused watching that presentation with some of the motion control waggle stuff that they were kind of going Wii U era.
You mean Wii era?
Wii era. Yeah, that's right. Because Wii U was a bomb. They don't want to go that era.
No.
I mean, Wii U is awesome.
I actually think that before this presentation, this is going to come off harsh, and I don't care. I'm just going to be honest. Before this presentation, I was super wanting to pre-order. Like, I wanted to know when this thing was going to be up for pre-order, and I wanted to pre-order it ASAP. Now, I think I might just buy Breath of the Wild for my Wii U that I already own and hold off on the Nintendo Switch.
Oh, I'm buying the day one. I already said that. Whether they announce the release date for Zelda as being the same, I was all in. That portability factor of the system is what's got me sold, especially being able to just pick it up and play so easily. Take it to work. I mean, play it when I'm not working.
See, and like, yeah, like for me, the portable stuff, I'm never in a position where the portability thing for me is really a big deal. Rarely am I, like, if I'm ever going on a road trip, I'm the one driving. I don't commute anywhere. At work, I'm not ever sitting in a position where I could hang out and play video games. If I'm always driving. I'm never waiting. I have lunch. That's about it sometimes. But that's literally it. The few times a year I take an airplane, I don't feel like you know what I mean? Like, so for me, the portability is kind of a non-starter. Like, it's going to be at home in my dock 99% of the time. And for me, at least currently, this is looking like the thinnest launch title. I mean, literally the only game that they showed today that is going to be available on launch day is Zelda, which, again...
No, that's a lie. That 1-2 Switch.
Oh, okay. That's...
And I'm going to guess that ARMS is going to...
But again, we don't know. I'm just saying the only one that we are confirmed to be showing up.
So is, people are... Sorry. People are posting on online here. Stuff coming out of Japan's, I guess, press site. So it looks like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So an updated version for Mario Kart for Switch. And then a Street Fighter Ultra 2.
What?
Yeah.
Street Fighter Ultra 2?
Yeah. Like Street Fighter 2, like the HD Turbo Remix. Street Fighter 2 Ultra, the final challengers.
All right. Well, that's a thing, apparently.
I'm sure we're going to get more titles tomorrow on the English thing, but...
yeah, I agree. I'm just saying that at least currently, so it's looking like a thin launch.
They showed everything that came in the box. They talked about the price.
Let's talk about what's in the box. I actually think that's one of the things that I think they nailed, and they got a lot of
stuff.
They did a good job on. So you get the console itself, you get a dock, you also get obviously a Joy-Con, which is one half of a controller.
Trying to find the image with it all.
You also get an HDMI cable and a power adapter, obviously. You also get what do they call it? The thing that you slide the Joy-Cons in.
The
it's
grip.
Almost like a, it's like a grip.
The Joy-Con grip.
Oh. Kaz Hirai from Sony just threw some shade.
The real Kaz or the fake Kaz? If you're following Twitter, you're probably following the fake one. Joy-Con straps to cover those ugly, sharp edges.
Oh, yeah. Plus, you're right. You get the Joy-Con straps as well.
And the USB-C AC adapter.
Yeah. 2
configurations. Black and the red-blue monstrosity.
Neon
red and neon blue. I'm getting black.
Yeah.
I like the red and blue. I was thinking, red and blue's cool for when you're sharing controllers. But then I was thinking, when
you're going to look like a knob
holding this thing, I'm going to look like a tool. So I think I'm just going to stick to black.
Probably a good idea.
It didn't say anything about storage space, internal or anything. So I'm going to guess there's probably only one configuration. And my guess would be it would be no less than 32 gigs.
Yeah, I don't know.
What does the Shield come with?
That's a great question. I'm not sure, actually. I think you can get it in a couple of different...
it does come in different sizes?
Well, let's take a quick look. Oh, man.
So they showed the controllers. They had a really big, long demo about the controllers. The built-in vibration they were comparing to a cup with 3 ice cubes and water that you could feel like felt like stuff was in the controller.
HD Rumble, bro.
That's right.
Rumble.
HD Rumble. And then they demoed a game, 1-2 Switch, which it's a multiplayer game that doesn't require you to be watching the screen. You play against your friends using the Joy-Con controllers. It looked very waggly, but it looked like it could be fun. I think it's gonna... here's hoping it brings back that Wii bowling, Wii tennis amount of joy. Then they showed this game called ARMS, which is like a weird 3D boxing game where you use the controllers to punch and move and dodge. That looked kind of weird.
Do you remember playing Wii Boxing? Because that looked awfully reminiscent to that, except that instead of just boxing, in this one, your arms actually shot out like freaking Go-Go Gadget arms.
Super Bomberman R.
So...
coming out in Japan. There's all these Japan photos coming out now. I guess they dumped the Japanese release stuff. These look like downloadable games.
Cool.
What was I going to say?
Side note, Nintendo, the NVIDIA Shield has a 16 gig storage in the tablet.
In the base version?
Just the one. It just comes in one version.
Only comes with 16. Okay, so...
yeah, but that's the way that they sell it. So, I mean, I don't see any reason why you couldn't have 32 or 64 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I have a hard time thinking that they could ship this thing with anything less than 32. I mean, I would want to say 128 at the bare minimum, but I don't know. It's Nintendo. They sort of do what they want.
Oh, they released some stuff on Nintendo Switch. Product overview, logos, artwork, documentation.
Huh.
I'm on the Nintendo Press site right now. Fact sheet, final.
There you go.
See if there's any juicy details in here.
I was just going to say, does the fact sheet have the storage space in it?
No, the fact sheet... oh, wait. I'm like, it's a PDF. It's loading very slowly.
Yeah.
Talking about new playstyles, Joy-Con, the capture button. Oh, yes. There's a capture button for gameplay screenshots. So not video.
But it won't be available at launch.
Motion control. HD Rumble. IR. Oh, yeah. There's the IR cameras in the controllers that can detect distance, shape, and motion, which could make for some interesting gameplay stuff. Oh, here we go. Look at this. There's actual specs here. Switch 6.2 capacitive multi-touch screen. 1280 by 720. We already knew that.
Yeah.
Switch dock holds, power, chargers, blah, 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 whatever. Okay, stand. Nothing. Video output up to HDMI, or 1080p. HDMI up to 1080p when played in TV mode, 720 when played on handheld mode.
I'm wondering if it's going to have 4K capability if you're watching something like Netflix or not.
No.
Because I know that the NVIDIA Shield has 4K capability based off of the X1 processor that's in it.
5.1, built-in audio jack, stereo speakers, or headphone for handheld or tabletop modes. Battery life can last for more than 6 hours, but will depend on software and usage conditions. For example, Breath of the Wild can be played for roughly 3 hours on a single charge while away from home. Nintendo Switch can be charged by plugging the AC adapter into the console's USB Type-C connector. Like, we didn't know that.
So in other words, they're going to sell battery packs. So all those sweet battery packs you're going to be able to get for your Nintendo Switch.
USB-C though, so everyone's going to have to go upgrade. I guess you could just get...
my battery pack's just a different cable.
Yeah, just get a USB-C cable. There we go. That works.
Just USB to USB-C cable.
Storage.
Fine.
Nintendo Switch has 32 gigs of internal storage.
Called it.
A portion which is reserved... that's what I said too. A portion of which is reserved by the system and has the option to expand its capacity using a micro SD XC or micro SD HC high capacity memory cards.
So at least they kept that standard then.
Silicon on chip. That's funny that they do that. SoC. That's what that stands for, right?
Yeah.
Custom Tegra processor powered by NVIDIA. So no hard specs.
Yeah, I'm not surprised with that.
USB ports on the Nintendo Switch dock can be used to charge accessories such as the Nintendo Switch Pro Controller, Joy-Con attached to Joy-Con charging grip. The USB ports can also be used with a USB LAN adapter to connect to the internet. Nintendo Switch can connect via wireless. In addition, up to 8 can connect over local multiplayer. While docked, the Switch can also use a wired internet connectivity by connecting a LAN adapter. So I guess you can put a LAN adapter on the dock if you want to be hardwired. That's kind of nice, because, I don't know, wireless sucks. Oh, so there you go.
Have we heard anything about charging the Joy-Con controllers?
It's probably in here, but I skipped past it.
Because that's the only kind of question that I'm curious about is there batteries in each one?
Oh,
like a AA or a AAA, or are they rechargeable? Do they recharge when you slide them into the main
Rechargeable.
part?
Joy-Con charge while attached to a docked Nintendo Switch system. They can also be charged using a Switch charging grip accessory sold separately.
Okay, so in other words, if you
batteries, but they didn't say anything about battery life on those.
Got it. I would think they would be pretty good.
Yeah. They've got to last longer than 6 hours.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we got storage space and some information there. Ooh, artwork. Videos. Oh, there's a bunch of screens. Oh, it kind of looks cool with the red and blue controllers. There's a case, a Nintendo Switch case.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they sell the Joy-Cons in 2s and singles.
It's a good idea. Maybe
so you can buy the red
shot.
So you can buy the red and blue pack if you want.
Yep, that's cool.
So if you don't get it, they show. There's a steering wheel like accessory.
Oh, this is feeling like the Wii all over again. Hey, buy our shitty. Put one of your Joy-Cons in the middle, and then you can drive like a real car.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still sold. That Mario looks really cool.
I'm super on the fence about it now.
Super Mario Odyssey. It looks like an open world Mario, kind of a la Mario 64. There was a really weird New York stage with real people and Mario jumping around, which looked kind of strange, but
felt super weird.
But the rest of it looked pretty rad. Yeah, I could see.
That's also not coming out till holiday 2017.
Yeah.
So
and they showed a bunch of super Japanese games. Shin Megami Tensei.
Which are
Fire Emblem Warriors.
In development.
Octopus something, some fucking weird Squaresoft game. I can't even remember what the fucking name was. It was so strange.
I'm really hoping that the 1-2 Switch thing is either pre-installed or a free game.
Oh yeah,
because I feel like if they don't, that's going to be real dumb. Because nobody's going to buy that otherwise.
No one would buy that. I'm pretty sure that's packed in. What else they show? Oh, Splatoon 2.
Yeah, they did announce Splatoon 2, which is kind of
summer. Cool. They said summer. So it's going to be Splatoon summer, Mario fall, and then Skyrim's coming at some point, but who cares? Because
it's been out on every single platform since it was released.
Yeah.
And anybody that's played it has already been playing it or is playing it on freaking PC or PS4 or...
Apparently there's a Breath of the Wild bundle that comes with a map, CD, and a carrying case for the Switch and a Master Sword like statue type thing. That looks cool. Oh, Joy-Con controllers are expensive.
What?
$50.
What? Oh, okay.
American.
Is that for 2?
No, that's for 1.
Wait, that's for half of a Joy-Con controller?
$80 for 2.
Wow.
And $70 for the Pro controller.
Whew, that's an expensive Pro controller.
The grip is $30, but you get a grip and you get 2 controllers with the system, so.
Yeah.
$100 in controllers bundled in. Online pre-orders start at 9 a.m. Eastern.
So that's like, what, 6 a.m. here?
In-store also start at 9 a.m. Eastern. No early openings. Call your local store to confirm. That's EB Games.
Yeah, I'll call my local store.
9 a.m. Eastern is like a big fuck you to everyone on the West Coast.
Yeah?
Like, seriously? Yeah, that's not cool. Like, we're sleeping, so everyone on the East Coast gets it, and we all get fucked.
No idea.
So, obviously, everyone's going to be able to watch on Friday the US version of this. I think it's going to more deep dive into games. Maybe it'll just be a straight up English version of this presentation.
That wouldn't surprise me. The only thing I'm super curious about is what their launch release, what their launch lineup looks like. They've essentially showed us everything else, but they have not given us a list saying, here are the games that are going to be available at launch, or even do what Sony and Microsoft did with the last ones, where they said, this is our launch window. In the first month of release, we're going to have this many games, and these are the games coming out.
It's probably going to be tomorrow.
That's what I'm hoping. I honestly think that that's too much money, but
I'm looking at this press release to see if it says anything. Oh, here's all the games. Disgaea 5, Fast RMX, I don't even know what that is. Super Bomberman R, Has Been Heroes, Just Dance 2017, Ultra Street Fighter 2, Puyo Puyo Tetris, Skylanders Imaginators, Sonic Mania. I imagine these are all launch titles. It doesn't say. If I read this whole thing, I could probably figure it out.
Fair enough.
Besides Zelda, I don't care about anything. Oh, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Yeah, they're talking about everything. Some of that stuff's not coming out for a while. I'm sure we'll get like a good list probably tomorrow sometime. I don't know, I'm sold. Zelda. That's all it needed was Zelda. It could have just been a presentation of Zelda, and I would have still been sold. I could see where people are kind of disappointed. Some of the Wii waggle stuff, it's like, But, it was a very strange presentation.
It was. How many dad jokes did they drop in there? A lot.
Yeah, there was quite a few.
There's going to be some memes online where people are showing how many freaking Switch snaps were said in that presentation.
But there is a very meme GIF-worthy presentation, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, big time.
I think the worst thing about the presentation was just the boring-ass translators. They were terrible.
Yeah, they were really bad.
They're just like, that's why it was awesome seeing the crazy Japanese guys do their weird, awkward stuff.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Yeah, Nintendo Switch. I guess the only thing we didn't know was battery life, which we got, release date, which we got, price, which we got, and storage.
Yeah, which we now have.
Not much. I don't know what. There's not really any other surprises. Hardwired dongle. It wasn't shown in any photos, but I assume they're going to make one, or you could probably buy any USB-C style one, I'd assume. Wi-Fi, we already knew that. Most of the stuff we knew, just some nice demos against, and that Zelda trailer was amazing. Month and a half. Now here's hoping we could fucking pre-order them today, tomorrow.
Soon.
If I can't pre-order one, I'm going to fucking murder someone. I'm going to drive down to Nintendo. Actually, I'm not, but
I'm still super on the fence. I'm not sure if I can.
Maybe I'll be able to pre-order it because people like you are going to be all upset.
I think it's going to be kind of like my VR. I'll probably walk into a store tomorrow
if it's there,
and if they're available to pre-order, I'll pre-order one. If they're not, then I probably won't bother.
You should just pre-order one whether you want one or not, because knowing Nintendo, there's going to be none, and you can sell it for at least $600.
That's true. And then I could buy two later.
Yeah.
Or
essentially yours will be free. And you can spend the money on something else.
There you go. I can sell it.
No, I don't condone that. Nobody do that.
And then buy Breath of the Wild for my Wii U and play that.
Yeah,
I'm actually super curious about Breath of the Wild. I want to read reviews and I want to find out what version of that game is actually going to be better and what the differences are going to be between the two versions. I'm super curious.
Switch one has to be better.
I would think, but I don't know.
That would be like a death fucking bell for this system if it performed worse than the Wii U version.
I'm not saying it's going to perform worse. I'm just saying like the Wii U version's got to be good. It's got to be at least 720p, right?
Yeah. So okay, let's not think about that. Okay, so that was your Nintendo Switch Reacts chat.
There you go.
So, Dane.
Yo.
What you been playing?
Oh, dude.
So, if you don't know, actually, I already talked about it. I don't need to explain myself again. Usually, it's the top of the show. We talk about what you've been playing, get into the news, our public service announcements, and then free for all section. Obviously,
today we did things a little differently because
the Nintendo was fresh in our minds.
Exactly.
So, Dane, you spent your whole weekend.
Oh man, man, I'm almost ashamed to say this.
Playing Stardew Valley.
Dude, I installed this. I bought it on the Steam sale over the holidays, the winter Steam sale. I got it for like $5 or something. It was super cheap.
I think I bought it like 6 months ago. It was part of a Humble monthly bundle, so I got it for $12 plus like 6 other games.
Right.
So I'm like, all the hype was, okay, this game's awesome. Some of my friends had played it. Various internet personalities were enamored with it. And I'm like, I'll pick it up. And I never got to it.
Didn't play it.
No.
So I'd heard that it was really good. I remembered hearing all the hype and stuff when it came out a while ago, but I just didn't pick it up. It kind of didn't really seem like it would actually be my cup of tea.
No, you just bitched about old school, like,
I know.
type graphics and 8-bit graphics during the presentation.
I know. So I bought this game. I installed it, and I had it installed on my system for a while. I hadn't actually played it. And on the weekend, I noticed it was on my desktop, so I thought, hey, I'll give that a try. If it sucks, I can just delete it and carry on with playing Call of Duty Infinite Warfare or one of the other 10 games that I've got that I'm halfway or 3/4 of the way or a quarter of the way through. And then next thing I knew, it was Sunday. That game got a hold of me. I think I started playing that Saturday morning, and I think when I stopped playing that on Sunday night, I think that I had put in somewhere in the range of 14 hours over the course of 2 days.
Ooh, you deep dive.
I deep dove hard. That game took a fucking hold of me, man. That game is dangerous. That is like a Civ game for me. It is bad. And you know what it is? It's just one more day. I'm just gonna do one more day. Like tomorrow I've got these things that are gonna be able to harvest, and I'll just get that stuff out of the way, and then I'll finish that day, and then it's just one more day.
Let's rewind.
Yeah.
This game is a farming sim? Question mark? Not really.
It's like a cross between Harvest Moon and Animal Crossing.
Top down with 16-bit retro style graphics.
Yeah.
Slash RPG.
Yeah.
Slash relationship manager.
Yeah.
Slash fishing game.
It's a hell of a lot deeper than you realize.
Farming game. Slash adventure game. Slash dungeon crawler
thing. Yeah. It was built by one guy.
That's
incredible.
That's the amazing thing. I also started playing it, but I didn't get like super cracked out like you did. I must say props to Concerned Ape is the developer. I don't know Buddy's name, but it supports ultra wide. There's AAA freaking $1 billion studios that have games that don't support ultra wide. And this is a game made by one fucking person. So props to you.
Yeah. It took a hold of me, man. It was weird because initially when I started it, in the first hour or so, I was kind of on the fence. I was sort of going, I don't know if I'm going to keep playing this. Like, maybe I will. Maybe I won't. I don't know. It seems okay. And then I just kept playing it. And then the next thing I knew, my wife was going like, hey, are you going to get up and wipe those Cheetos off your chest and actually do something today? Like, I'm kidding. I didn't actually eat any Cheetos, but like that's the type of hold it had on me. And it seems so simple initially. You start the game off and they don't throw a ton of stuff at you. You know, they just say, why don't you go...
Yeah.
There's a couple things that they sort of throw at you. They say, hey, why don't you go walk around town, go meet some people.
Go meet all the people. It gives you a little number. There's like 29 people.
Yeah. And then there's a few other things they kind of tell you, like, why don't you try this stuff out, or why don't you go do this? But ultimately, it's kind of up to you if you want to farm or if you want to go do whatever you want, really.
It really doesn't give you a lot of direction. It just throws you in, and it's like, hey, just figure it out.
The crazy thing for me, I think that I'm realizing, the more that I play it, the deeper I'm realizing that it is, and the more systems there are, and the depth of that game is honestly mind-blowing.
It seems very, very simple on the outset. Like, I've started basically at the start of the game. It shows your character in a cubicle, basically banging his head on the keyboard, not happy with life. And you got a deed from your grandfather. Was it?
Yep.
Who owns a farm out somewhere, and he's
Pelican
away.
Town, bro. Pelican Town.
And
Come on, man.
He's left you the family farm.
Yeah.
For you if you choose to go back and, you know, take care of it. You take a bus ride back to town, show up at your farm. Basically, it's all decrepit, overgrown rocks and trees all over the place. But a sizable plot of land. Actually, when you start the game, you can choose the name of your farm, customize your character, and you can also choose the different farm types. There's like the standard.
You create your character.
A forest type farm. There's a riverside farm. Like there was like 5 or 6 different farms. I guess they just kind of change what resources are near you immediately, or maybe difficulty of managing your farm. I don't know.
The way I understand it is those were sort of added in later. There was the normal farm, which is actually the one I did.
I just went with the standard one too, because I didn't want to get in over my head.
Yeah, and you can customize your character. You can choose a name. You can choose what they look like, and then you choose a farm.
What did you call it, farm?
It's called Heaven.
Heaven Farm?
Yeah. It's pretty sweet.
Mine's Tanner Ridge Farm.
Oh, nice.
That's the neighborhood where I live, so I thought it was
very
appropriate,
nice,
considering there's a bunch of farms here. None actually go by that name, though.
Oh.
That I know of. Maybe there probably is one, but...
Fair enough.
So, yeah, you get a couple things to do, and like you said, as you do one, it kind of unlocks another, and then another. I've only played for maybe a couple hours.
Okay.
So I can tell I really like it, but I haven't. Sorry, was leaning back from the microphone there, so I was probably quiet. I haven't played enough to get totally hooked, but I am enjoying what I've played. It's definitely.
I am so hooked that I'm contemplating turning it on right now and just feeling like I could just making sure that I can
multitask.
Yeah, I figure I could plant some stuff. I got some. I'm in the summer now. So you start off, there's 4 seasons in the game. You can only grow things in certain seasons. So you can grow spring things in the spring, summer things in the summer, obviously autumn things in autumn, and nothing in the winter. But there's also, I don't know if you've figured this out or not yet, but
no, probably not.
If you go to the general store where you buy seeds and you talk to...
I've been to the general store and talked to
nice guy.
Pierre.
Yes, you talk to Pierre. Outside of that, on the wall, there's a calendar. And if you click on that, in my case, because I'm playing it on the PC, if you click on that...
As was I.
It actually shows you a calendar, and that's spring. Each calendar is spring, fall, summer, etc., etc. So it gives you a good idea, because the thing is that certain seeds that you plant take so many days before you can harvest them. So some seeds will cost a lot more money and they'll take a lot longer to harvest, but you get a lot more money for them. So there's a whole trick about at the beginning of the month buying the seeds that are going to take a while, And then towards the end, you got to be careful, because if you plant a whole bunch of seeds and then it switches seasons, anything that you planted in the spring is going to die as soon as summer starts, and so on and so forth. So your summer crops are going to die.
I haven't gotten that far, so I'll keep that into consideration.
So, I mean, every time I go to buy seeds, I like to stop and check out that little sign there and figure out how many days I got left, because some of that stuff has a fairly lengthy time before it matures. Like the melons, I think, are 14 days, and I think the average season is, I believe, 28 or 31 days or something, somewhere in that region. So, just kind of a tip.
Yeah, they show, because basically it's got a day-night cycle.
Yep.
You have a stamina or energy meter as you're like cleaning, chopping trees down, planting stuff, doing actions. It drains. You need food to refill your energy.
Or you sleep.
Here's
the other thing. If you become super exhausted and then you go to sleep and it's late, you'll wake up in the morning and you won't be rested all the way.
I have done that.
Yep.
I didn't realize that.
You'll only get half your energy back.
Yeah, I rested and I'm like, oh, what's going on? I only have like half my energy. I didn't get all my energy, so it must have been late at night that I went to bed. I didn't really put that together.
If you're exhausted and it's late at night, you don't get the rest you need.
Absolutely makes sense.
Yeah.
And so you grow stuff, and I noticed there's the box in town, which I thought it was like your chest for storing items. So I was
that's what you sell stuff.
I know, I was putting stuff in there inadvertently. I'm like, wait a second, shipped off. I'm like, oh crap. I'm like, oh.
So yeah, so
I
anything
get it.
you
This is where you put all your resources. This is where your farm makes their money from, so you don't have to go to the store carrying it all.
Exactly. So every night you sell whatever you put in that box, and it gives you a tally of what you sold. And if you sell more things via farming or foraging or fishing, you also have you get better at those things as you do them more. So that also helps, with your farming. For example, you can hold more water in your watering can. If you're foraging, your axe is more efficient, things like that. Mm-hmm. So it's cool in that regard.
It's got a hell of a lot of character. It's
honestly, man, I don't even know where to begin with it. There is so much depth to that game, and when you first started, it seems like such a cutesy, whatever game.
It does seem like, that's what I thought. I'm like, okay, this is super simple. I get this. I'm like, why is everyone going crazy?
There's the mines. You can go to the mines.
I can see a mine on the edge of my farm, like a cave. Is that the mine?
No.
Okay, that's something different.
That's just a cave.
Oh, okay. I haven't even gone in there.
No.
I haven't even gone that far.
The mine is up to the, what would that be, northeast of the blacksmith.
Okay, because I don't even have, like, right now, I've maybe, like, played, like, 6 days, 6 nights.
Oh, wow.
So I don't even really have, like, a good grip on, like, making
where
food
anything
or getting food. I barely have explored town. Like, is there a good way of getting food that's cheap and easy early in the game? Because, see, I'm running out of energy is my problem right now.
That's interesting. I actually didn't really have that problem too much at the beginning.
Maybe I'm trying to clear out too much of my farm stuff.
Probably. Go do some fishing. You went down and you talked to the guy?
You got your fishing rod.
Okay, cool.
I think it was Willie. Was his name? I don't know.
Old man Willie.
His name. One-eyed Willie.
Yeah. There's an energy bar that you can make fairly early on, but you need, acorns, maple seeds.
So I gotta make some money and go buy some shit from I gotta go buy seeds.
No, you gotta get farming. Definitely go spend some money because you're gonna make that money back, right?
So you didn't buy, I was kind of saving up. I'm like, I'm gonna buy that big backpack. I guess I should just forego that for now and buy a bunch of seeds.
The backpack is great, but if you don't buy seeds and you don't get farming, you're not going to make enough money to get the backpack to make it worth your while.
Yeah.
Because what actually happens is you can actually build a box that you can put crap in and you can keep it at your house. So you're running out of space lots right now, But the thing is build yourself a box.
I think I did build a box and put
and
it
you
on my
can
porch.
offload a whole bunch of crap into that box all the time. And you don't need to pack a lot of that around with you until you actually need it.
That makes sense.
But the other thing is that you can go to the mines and there's like 50 plus levels in the mines. Like those mines are deep and they go crazy with stuff.
So what happens in the mine? There's monsters and stuff in there.
Yeah,
right?
there's actually monsters and stuff. So you actually get a sword that you go in there and you attack.
They just give
slimes.
It to you?
Yeah, there's a guy over near the edge of the mine. He's from the Adventurers Guild, and he says, "Hey, if you want to go in the mine, then you're gonna need this." And he hands you a sword. It's not an awesome sword. It's just a sword. You go down into the mine. And you can find, that's where you do a lot of your foraging for things like you're going to need copper. So you're going to find that in the mine. Okay. You're going to get iron. But I think iron only shows up in the deeper levels in the mine. I've only gone down to about level 6 or 7 in the mines so far. Because when you go in the mines, you have a health bar as well as an energy bar. So when you're swinging your sword and like attacking things, your sword.
You didn't bite the first time I asked that. Your sword.
Yes,
that sounds
there's a W there. It's a sword.
A sword.
Yes. Anyways,
sorry.
So the thing is like this is a whole nother aspect of this game.
A whole different game.
If you want to go down there, you attack monsters, and you got to go back out of there.
Fuck, I'm gonna have to go there.
It's crazy. Plus, there's, like you said, the whole fishing game. If you fish in the rivers versus the ocean, you're going to catch whole different things. And whether or not you're catching things at night versus during the day and during the morning, and whether or not it's raining. Then there's a whole other thing where, similar to Animal Crossing, there's a museum. So if you go and find things and you donate them to the museum, you're going to get rewards that way. Honestly, there's so like, upon first glance, I thought this game, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. This is kind of light and fluffy and whatever. And then as I've continued to play, it's just, you could go in and just farm if you wanted, or you could go in and mine every day, or you could go in and fish and do a variety of things. Another little tip is that if it's raining, you don't have to water your garden because it's obviously raining. So that's great because that's a whole thing you don't have to do. So, cause you got to water your stuff every day. But no, that game is honestly phenomenal. It is taken a hold of me in a horrible way, and it's just that one more day because the game saves at night when you sleep.
Yeah, when you go to bed.
So
that's the only way you can save, right?
As far as I'm aware, yeah. And yeah, for me, it's just that like, well, I'll just play one more day because I can finish this stuff up, and then I'm gonna build my silo, so my silo will be finished tomorrow, so that'll be done, and I can start putting stuff in there. That's another little tip that I didn't realize is if you go talk to the blacksmith, the first thing that it looks like you can build is a chicken coop. But if you look below the chicken coop, there's little arrows and you could click on them and you could build multiple things. So I was trying to figure out for the life of me how to build a silo so that I could make hay to feed my bloody chicken. And I finally realized that I could go talk to her and click through and she would build me a whole bunch of different things. But I, for whatever reason, the way that it looks on the screen, it only looks like you can build the one thing. And
so how do you build? Is there a workbench?
No, you get the resources. So in the case of like a chicken coop,
because I don't think I've gotten. Do they automatically pop up, or does it prompt?
No, she builds them. She has to build them for you.
Oh, who builds it for you?
She's a carpenter. The carpenter that you meet.
Okay,
so you go talk to her and you give her the raw resources, and then you pay her some money, and she will build your chicken coop.
Like I clearly haven't talked to her.
Yeah, a chicken coop is I think $4,000 plus 300 wood, and there's some other resources as well that she needs in order to build a chicken coop.
Switch pre-orders have gone live in the US, by the way.
Wow. They weren't supposed to go live till tomorrow morning.
On Best Buy and Amazon.
Oh, interesting.
So they're not all sold out. So.
Oh, there you go.
Instantly. So. Oh, $3.99 Canadian. I just got the press release from Nintendo.
What?
Nintendo Canada.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I was hoping $3.79. Boo. Not that that's a deal breaker. I'm still buying it regardless, but that's pretty pricey.
That's a hard pill to swallow, man.
Yeah, especially considering the PS4. And I guess it's doing different shit, but they better support it. They didn't support shit on the Wii U, and it was different, right?
It was also cheaper, too. I think I got my Wii U for $199.
Yeah, the Wii... Oh, yeah, you didn't buy yours at launch, though. It's $350 at launch, but that's true.
So, yeah. Anyways... Stardew Valley, man.
Okay, I gotta go
that
find
game
that.
Is
I gotta
awesome.
find the blacksmith chair. I have installed it on
It is crazy.
I did install it on my MacBook Air, and it supports
yeah.
Steam Cloud Save, so like
nice.
I did get far enough to see that my game picked up right where I left off on my MacBook, so I can play it on my laptop.
Oh, that's exciting.
So
I'm putting it on my laptop so I can play it on the couch when I'm watching TV with my wife.
Seems like a perfect game for that. Very dangerous. Crack on the road.
That's awesome.
Okay, I'm gonna
play on my work laptop.
I'm gonna play more. Oh, yeah, I don't know if your work laptop can handle it. It might be a little too demanding.
I think my Razer can handle it.
I played a bunch of Dragon Quest Builders.
Nice,
which is
strangely addictive as well.
It sounds very similar to Stardew Valley. It's more about building though, as opposed to a farm, but you do the same stuff. You gather food and craft items. It did get its
I like
hooks
that game a lot.
It did get its hooks into immediately. I bought this on the Boxing Day sale for $50.
Nice.
Came out in October.
Yep.
It's the PS4 and Vita exclusive. It's not on Xbox, is it?
Is it cross-buy? If you buy one, you get both?
It's not, which is
that's too bad.
That's really stupid.
Because that would be awesome Vita game, man.
It's basically Minecraft
with a purpose.
That had a baby with Dragon Warrior. Well, Dragon Quest.
Yeah.
But if you played Dragon Warrior 1 on NES way back in the day, this is kind of like a spiritual sequel to that game. In that it takes place after the ending of Dragon Warrior 1.
I thought that was super cool. I picked up on that when I played or not really the demo, but I played an hour or so of it at PAX before it was launched and stuff.
You played it and you said you liked it. I looked
really
at it and I'm like, this looks pretty cool. It is
You're playing it on PS4, right?
Yeah, it's 3D.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you say? It's all like, it's not Minecrafty in that it's Minecrafty in that the building aspect and world of it is very blocky. But
they use voxels, but much higher resolution than Minecraft.
It's not pixelated. It doesn't look 16-bit. Like it's like a full rendered, has a very anime style. The characters are very detailed and animated, and basically, you wake up from a sleep. You're in like a crypt underground, and you come up to the surface, and this voice is talking to you. I think it's the voice of the goddess, and basically, you're the builder, and you're the only person who knows how to build stuff. The humans, the race that exists, the world's been overtaken by monsters, and they've all forgotten how to build and to create. And they've just been wandering around alone and by themselves, avoiding monsters in this world that's just overrun, and there's no cities, no towns. And basically, you, as the builder, are rebuilding civilization. There's quests, there's people that you find, they join your town, they have different roles. The way you build buildings and what you include in them determines what kind of building they become. I've built a kitchen, I built a blacksmith, or a smithery as they call it. It's got combat, exploration, and of course, like you were saying, kind of like in Stardew Valley, you mine resources, you create stuff at your bench, you got a workbench and you got a forge. You get armor and you level up, you get life, your life goes up, you need to eat because you have a hunger meter as well. It's very similar to a lot of survival, building games that are already out there.
I really liked that game because
it's really cool.
It gives you this purpose, which is great because it says like, hey, we want you to build a house, so we want you to build this.
Here's a floor plan.
You're trying to build a town or whatever, and you're trying to get people to come into your town, and so you build a house and you put a bed there, and their minds are all blown like, wow, this is incredible. But it still felt cool because you actually did, in fact, have to build it. You had to go gather the resources and then make the bricks. Go cut down
trees, go smash rocks, go take apart cliffs.
But it wasn't just a random do nothing.
That's
like
the thing.
It gave you purpose, which I liked.
Minecraft and a lot of survival games are like where you make your own fun. Which obviously there's fun to be had when you're just effing around with your friends. But that is the truth for any type of game. But kind of when you're on your own, if you don't get sucked into the building mechanic, it's like, hey, I built this castle that no one can see and I get no reward and I don't get anything for it. Of course, there's mods and stuff that do add shit like that to Minecraft, but I never got into any of that stuff. But in this game, you have the quests, you get the rewards, you learn how to build more stuff. There are enemies. Your town gets attacked. You have to protect it. It's really, really cool. It has its hooks in me for something that I was like, oh, that looks neat. I'm blown away. And as soon as you like start the game and you come out of into the overworld, it's got like remix version of that classic Dragon Warrior 1 music. I'm like, oh my God.
I loved that. I thought it was awesome.
Like, this is amazing. I'm really enjoying it. And that's what I want to just frickin' play.
Right.
It's a good game. If it looks kiddie or off-putting to you, if you have any type of interest, I would say check it out. But again,
that is totally a game that has been on my want to pick up list, and I thought about putting it on my Christmas list, and I'm kind of kicking myself for not now.
I'm very happy that I bought it. But if you don't like those builder survival type games, even though this has quests and purpose, like there's a story, there's characters, there's stuff to do. It's not just like a free for all where you make your fun. Mm-hmm. There's a story and there's structure to it.
Which is perfect for me because I'm usually exactly that.
But if you don't like those games, like it's not Uncharted 4,
right.
It's still like, if you still have to kind of like those types of games. And I really do like those games a lot, but having all this purpose and stuff in it makes it better. I am luckily the type of person who can have fun in these games. Like me and my buddies were playing a shitload of Ark. Remember?
Oh, right, yeah.
With the dinosaurs. There's no story mode in that. There's no quest. There's no nothing. It's just you go do stuff.
Right.
But it's massively multiplayer, so that made that game really freaking fun. And come on, it's fucking awesome riding a T-Rex, honestly.
Yeah, that's true.
So anyway, that's been my crack. I'm going to get to Stardew Valley.
Game is so good.
Which I'll probably be mixing the two together. I'll get the games mixed up because there's a lot of stuff very similar between the two.
So different though.
They are different, and some things are the same. I also finished Doom and Battlefield.
Hey, very nice.
So, my first two games of the year beaten. I beat Doom like literally after we recorded.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And then I beat Battlefield like a couple days ago.
Nice.
Doom,
so what'd you think?
Doom, I love Doom. Doom is fantastic. I was a little disappointed in the ending.
Really?
I saw that turn, the twist coming. Like, it was like, freaking saw that from a mile away. The end boss was kind of cool. But
it took me a couple tries to actually take down the end boss.
Yeah, it took me a couple tries too. It was pretty tough. Definitely cliffhanger ending for a sequel for sure.
Oh, definitely. Absolutely.
Doom, fantastic. Battlefield 1, on the other hand, honestly, it's the worst of all the shooters of the year.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. I really liked it. It resonated in a way for me that I really liked.
It started out strong, and it just went out on a whimper. The last couple levels, Italy was like over in like a heartbeat. I didn't care. Like, it was a sad story, but it was just, I don't know what it was about it. I didn't care for it. What was the one after that? The Australian campaign.
You played them in order, same as me, right?
I played them in order. The Australian campaign, the runner, that was It was neat. It's a really short game. The levels are small. Like, it's not a long game. When you sit down and plod through it, like, you could literally beat it in like one sitting. If you really did it, 2. It's not a long game. I'm
surprised that you thought the last level. I'm assuming you played it.
I liked the last one, but
that for me, like, really, I was amazed. Like that, having that freedom and playing it how you want. That last level, for me was, wow,
level was cool, and it made all the rest of the game seem really shitty to me.
Interesting.
I felt like every other level compared to that was super linear.
Because it almost was giving you a taste of what it could have been, but it wasn't?
Yeah. And it was just basically like one small portion of the campaign. Like a tiny portion of the campaign. But then to turn that all on its head, the end boss is terrible. It was stupid. It was so anticlimactic. It was just not a good ending to a game at all.
You gotta remember, though, that you could have played that one first if you wanted. So ultimately, it wasn't really an end boss, if you will, because that was the end boss for that story, right?
But it was the campaign numbered order, and like there was just lots of highs and probably more lows.
Interesting.
The open world stuff in Arabia there, or wherever the hell it frickin' was, I don't even know where that campaign takes place, was awesome.
That was in the Northern Africa.
Yeah, that was cool, but again, the ending of that campaign sucked.
Interesting. I definitely did not feel that way.
I never spent enough time, I feel like, with the characters to really care, because I feel like they were so cliched. Like, they were just, you know what I mean? But it's not it's not terrible, but it's not terrible. It's not a bad game. It just either I wasn't in the right mindset, or just compared to like Titanfall 2 and Infinite Warfare and Doom, it for me it absolutely comes in last place.
That's fair. I'm not saying it doesn't for me as well, but I still really liked it. I thought it was arguably, at least for me, in my opinion, easily the best Battlefield campaign they've possibly ever done, or at least the best one that they've done since probably Bad Company 2.
Yeah, I haven't played Bad Company 2, but people agree unanimously that is probably the best Battlefield campaign. That's on my pile of shame. That's on my PC. I gotta go back and play that, because after playing this, I want to compare it to that.
The thing is, at this point, I don't know how well it would hold up, just because that was so long ago.
I think the story would still hold up, because it's all about the story, right? Isn't the characters of Bad Company the big thing?
Yeah, the characters are kind of cool. Part of it is the destructibility. Like, I don't remember this, like, the actual, how do I explain this? I don't remember the story itself being like, wow, that was great. Because, I don't know, when was the last time, honestly, that you really remembered a story in a first-person shooter? It's,
are you kidding me? I just got an email from Best Buy. 6 a.m. pre-orders.
Yeah. They go live at 9 Eastern Standard Time.
Fuck off. That is so bullshit for people on the West Coast. It is.
I'm not arguing with you.
I guess I'm waking up at 6 a.m.
Wow.
Bitches.
You're a trooper, man.
Well, I don't want a chance not getting one.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
I don't want to wait on Zelda Day 1. Bitches.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Apparently, a somewhat reliable source just released the launch lineup for the Nintendo Switch. Colin Moriarty just dropped it. Apparently, their whole 1-2 Switch is going to be a launch title.
So it's
Disgaea 5
not included?
I don't know. It hasn't said it's on this list. So Disgaea 5.
I just saw a link saying to pre-order it on Amazon.
Disgaea 5, which is already out on the PS4 if you want to play it. Has Been Heroes, which is a new game. That's going to be coming out. I Am Setsuna, which came out on the PS4 and Vita. Just Dance 2017, which came to every console under the sun. Puyo Puyo Tetris, which came out in 2014, actually, which is strange. Rayman Legends, which came out to all of the consoles in 2013. Skylanders Imaginators, which came out last fall, which my wife is one trophy away from platinuming right now.
That's not fair. I need a platinuming wife.
Snipper Clippers. Have no idea what that is. That's going to be a new game at launch. Steep, which is the Ubisoft Extreme sports game, which also came out on the PS4 and Xbox One last fall. Super Bomberman R, which will be new, and The Legend of Zelda, which is also coming out on the Wii U.
Yeah,
so out of all those games,
launch lineup's pretty terrible.
There's 4 games that are only coming out on the Switch, and 1 that's also coming out on the Wii U. So 5 games, ultimately.
Everything's been available everywhere else.
Yep.
4 unique Switch titles.
Yep.
Well, I'm not buying it for anything there but Zelda, so...
Yeah. Which, like I said, I see on the Wii U.
That's a terrible launch lineup.
I'm super on the fence just because if the Wii U version is even 90% as good as the Switch version,
but you can't take it with you,
then I can hold off and enjoy.
But you can't take it with you.
Waiting for the Switch to come either down in price or something. So.
So yeah.
Because let's be honest, Mario's not coming out till next Christmas. So.
They said holiday this year.
Yeah, holiday 2017, unless it gets pushed back again.
So, like we were saying, Battlefield 1 sucks.
That's not what we were saying. That's what you were saying. Jeez.
It doesn't suck, but what they were trying to reach or do did not work for me.
Missed its mark with you.
Yeah.
And
there was some
I'm not saying that everyone hit for me, but I can honestly say,
see with Titanfall 2, just pedal to the metal the whole way. Infinite Warfare, pedal to the metal the whole way, and I cared about all the characters, and I cared about what was happening, and god damn it, it's super fake, and had nothing to do with the real war, and I got choked up in that freaking game. And then
which is
Doom
surprising.
was just, fucking amazing.
And that's the funny thing. For me, in the Italian Alps one, like you said, it was a sad story. That one actually got to me.
Yeah.
That one, it was like that you were chasing and you were hoping the whole time that you were not too late. And then to walk up to that, and it just, maybe, I don't know, that one hit me for me.
You know what I think was ruining it for me? Was in all those other shooters, I felt powerful. And I felt empowered, and I always knew what was killing me.
Right.
In Battlefield, sometimes I just fucking died because some random artillery or some shit hit me.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very annoying. I understand, that's maybe what the war was like. You were just gone in an instant, but...
That's exactly what it was like. And that was the whole reason they wanted you to feel like that.
From a gameplay standpoint, it's very annoying having to do parts 4 or 5 times over again when it's, just random. My skills should come into play. And it just made me feel like I wasn't controlling the game. And then it was just all these, I was just running through, a minefield at any given point in time. It's what it always felt like, which kind of annoyed me too. So that might have dragged me down a bit too.
Yeah.
Oh well. Anyway, I finished both of them.
Good stuff.
Doom's
That's
dope.
good.
Battlefield 1's good, but it could have been better.
I enjoyed it.
It was the worst of the bunch.
In your opinion?
In my opinion. And everyone knows my opinion is the only opinion that counts or matters.
I haven't finished Call of Duty Infinite Warfare yet, so that's the only one that currently I have not had.
Well, you're playing Stardew Valley, so you're never going to play it.
I haven't. It's funny. I started it, and I haven't had a hard urge to rush back and keep playing it yet. So,
you're playing Starcrack Valley.
Hey. To be fair, though, I also played a whole ton of first-person shooters, and I think that's part of why I'm on a Stardew Valley kick now, is I just need a break to play something a little different.
Cleanser.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's why I'm also in love with Dragon Quest Builders, too.
It's just something a little different.
So that's enough of what you've been playing. Let's get into
That's all
news.
I've been playing.
There's not a lot of news.
Good. Because we just talked about most of it.
Yeah, it's getting late here, so we'll probably fly through most of this. But news. Not a surprise. The NES Classic has been hacked. You can... I didn't look at this guy. There's guides popping up all over the place. Apparently, some guys figured out how to put it in a certain mode and load ROMs onto it via the mini USB
Nobody's
cable.
actually surprised by this, right?
No, nobody's surprised.
Okay.
Maybe we're surprised by how quickly it happened.
Not really.
Yeah, that's true. We're actually probably disappointed in how long it took.
I was kind of more surprised by how long it took.
So, apparently, there's a hard-coded limit of 60 games, I think.
Oh, okay.
Is what they were saying.
Interesting. I wonder, is that got more to do with
probably with the amount of
ROM
onboard
size,
probably
flash
with the
memory?
onboard RAM or something. Who knows?
Okay.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I read that somewhere. So if you do a search and you have an NES Classic and you feel like it's missing some of your favorites, well, looks like you can sideload them. I'm going to build a Retro Pi, a Raspberry Pi emulating box. I just haven't gotten around to ordering one, but I'm definitely going to build one because I think that's the best solution. Get all the consoles in one. Regardless of how you feel about
Fair
emulators, but I'm definitely going to do one of those. That's on my to-do list of projects.
I feel like that's the better way to go about this, in all honesty.
Mm-hmm. I don't really feel like I want to break my NES Classic, even though I've only used it once.
Is that the day that you bought it and took it out of the box?
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, you can hack it. So if you only want what, you can add more games.
Sweet.
Xbox exclusive Scalebound has been canceled. Microsoft confirms. My Twitter feed kind of blew up. People, I guess, really gave a shit about this. Honestly, I'm pretty sure I said in our E3 chats when we talked about this game in the past, I'm like, I don't know about this game. And, well, Microsoft was definitely like, we don't know about this game.
It was one of those things where I felt like it was either going to be awful or really awesome.
It looked bad because it was E3 demo.
And because it was Platinum, I didn't know which way it was going to go, because that seems to be what they do. They either make awesome games or they're fucking horrible. It generally isn't one or the other.
There's
it's
no
somewhere
in between.
It's just you get one or the other.
It's good or bad.
So I was more just surprised because I guess I didn't have my ear to the ground close enough to hear some of the rumblings and the whisperings that had been going around. But apparently some of the people that were in the know, this wasn't a surprise to them. Whereas to me, it definitely seemed like very much out of left field. This was one of the big games they had been touting as what was supposed to be a fall 2016 launch that then got pushed back to 2017. And now they hadn't said when it was coming. So to see it just canceled seemingly at this point seemed a little out of left field to me, but obviously they saw it and they felt that what was there wasn't worth continuing forward with, because obviously or
they were going to need another 6 years to finish it.
Yeah, or that too.
I think they
just didn't think it was going to sell enough to warrant the continuation of the development.
I think they caught I don't know. I think they just were cutting their losses ahead of the game. They're just
the question I have is anybody else going to pick up because Microsoft has essentially said that they've walked away from it, but that doesn't mean that another publisher could step in and say, hey, we think this has potential and we're going to finish it. I doubt that that's going to happen, but I'd be kind of curious to know whether or not that is going to happen or not.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen funny things like that happen before, right? So
I had no interest in this game.
Like I said, I didn't know. It was one of those things where I thought it could be super cool or it could be super shitty. and I hadn't seen enough about it yet to have a real opinion one way or the other. So
I just got a vibe from it. So obviously I was not far off from what Microsoft was feeling.
I'm a little concerned though, because I was looking at the Xbox One exclusive list for their year, and
this coming year, it's like none.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem like there's anything in there that I'm super excited to play, and I don't know if they're just holding off on
E3
on showing a lot of that because they want to drop a bunch of stuff
too soon for another Halo, and I think I'm done with Halo.
And I think that they're holding off on a bunch of announcements because they're going to have to announce Scorpio.
They're probably going to have a Scorpio event in April or May, would be my guess.
Yeah, or hold off till E3. I don't know.
No, they won't wait for E3. They'll have their own event before E3.
Yeah.
Waiting until E3 is just why share the limelight, right?
But to me, this was just kind of one of those exclusives that was only coming out on their platform that was suddenly gone.
It did have a bunch of hardcores excited for it, that's for sure.
Well, because I feel like you don't get a lot of these Japanese-only, slightly weird games coming out on a lot of Microsoft consoles. They're very Western-centric, obviously because a large reason for that being that...
Big-ass American company.
Well, yeah, and obviously the Xbox doesn't sell at all in Japan, so why are Japanese developers wanting to develop for it, really, right?
Not at all.
Especially with the PS4 doing as well as it has. So, but no, it was one of those things that I thought would be kind of cool if it did turn out to be good, just to add a little bit of flavor to the Xbox lineup, because I feel like it's a little bit, I don't know, I haven't seen anything yet coming out in 2017 that I'm all that excited about that's exclusive to them. So, here's hoping that they can replace it with something cool.
Yeah, it's funny. They came out and apologized. Oh well. No Scalebound. Yeah. Hey, remember that really cool triple screen Razer laptop we talked about last week?
Yeah. Well, it's crazy.
2 of them got stolen.
From their CES booth.
From their press room, like their hotel specific thing.
Interesting.
$25,000 bounty leading to the arrest and conviction.
The thing that I have with that is
sell that thing.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? How? Yeah, that's exactly my thought when I read this.
You use it in public, they probably can.
They can take it. It's stolen property.
Chances are it probably has maybe some software in it that they could fucking trace your IP and eventually find you.
Yeah, I don't know. The only thing I can think of is that if you're a rival company, you steal this and you try and steal the tech.
That's what they're assuming. Apparently, this is not the first time they've had prototype tech stolen.
No, it's not.
From CES, which is pretty hilarious.
No.
Maybe they freaking heard our podcast last week and that tower you were talking about that never came to fruition, and they're like,
Project
oh man,
Christine.
They're like, oh man, I better steal this laptop because it could never come out.
Yeah.
I was watching videos for this stupid fucking thing, and it looks cool. They're 3 4K 17-inch monitors.
Yeah.
And it's got a 1080 in it. 1080 can't do 3 4K fucking screens. So those games must have been like on super low settings.
I don't know. They were showing off Battlefield 1 running on it. I don't know what the settings were, but
I have a 1080 in a full desktop, and it can run half the games at 4K 60.
Yeah.
On one screen. Not 3.
Right.
Not 3. So obviously they're doing some render resolution is much lower.
Like I said, I don't know.
Native
I do know
12K.
that they were,
not on a fucking laptop, not full settings, not the ultra
wide
settings.
Screen or the what would that be? The horizontal width is 12K.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Anyway, they got ganked. They got ganked.
I'm sure they'll figure it out.
It's Razer's fault. Now there were some other stories that I cut. Nothing too really important. Obviously, the big thing was the Switch reveal. With that being said, that's it for news.
Yeah, not a ton of news.
No, next week will be a full regular show. Sorry. There's PSA. right now. If you pick up this next month's Humble monthly bundle, you can get XCOM 2 for $12.
Ooh.
On PC, that's pretty fantastic because that game just came out last year.
Yeah,
and the XCOM games are really good. So
$70 or whatever on Steam. So.
I don't know when I'm going to be able to play it, but I bought that bundle because I really like the first XCOM, and hey, $12. It's like you can't really go wrong with that.
Yeah. Oh, dang it. That's tempting. I'll have to look into that myself because that's a good one.
And PSA, by the time you've heard this, all the Switch pre-orders will be sold out. So maybe if you wanted one, you got one.
Actually, I don't know. That's pretty pessimistic.
I got something for the free for all.
Here in Canada, all of our retailers are holding to the tomorrow at 9 Eastern time. So it only seems like it's the US that are opening up those pre-orders early.
So bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh, so bullshit.
I wonder if I could use my wife's Amazon account and pre-order on Amazon.com.
If she has an address to ship it to in the US, you could, but then with the dollar exchange, you'd probably actually be paying more pre-ordering it in the US.
She does have a address in the US.
It's $2.99 American. You might end up paying more. They might want to ding you for duty bringing it back.
But at least I know I'd get one.
That's true. Well, you can always preemptively order one if she's got somewhere to ship it. So, actually, I got something quick before we end this, because this is a pretty short show.
Fair enough. What do you got?
So, I played with the 3DS hacking stuff some more.
Okay.
Because they apparently blew the doors off the 3DS recently.
Right.
And it's gotten super easy to load homebrew on the system. One of the biggest reasons I did it was to actually do save management, because you can actually pull your saves from games and move them. You can pull them off the cart and write them to the cart.
Oh,
and
that's nice.
You can edit saves and do nasty stuff like that, like unlock a bunch of Pokemon you don't have from past games that you have no chance in ever getting.
Oh, so, I see. So this is where this came in.
And there's custom themes and those, anything you can imagine. But you know how we talked about that free shop software?
Yeah.
That got shut down by Nintendo. I'm like, well, I just did some research, scientific research to see like why this was such a big deal and why Nintendo had gone after them. And yeah, that program is bad. The 3DS is fucked.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, it's bad. Literally every and any game you want is just there. Click of a button.
Ooh.
It's that might explain as to why 3DSs don't exist in the wild right now. Without a major hardware revision, I think all existing 3DSs, the 3DS is dead. I guess good thing the Switch is coming out. Now, I bring this up because I wonder how far the Wii U is along from being cracked now.
Right. Oh, I see where you're going with this.
Because the Wii eventually got cracked too with homebrew and stuff, and that was also really bad. So I don't imagine the Wii U is going to be very far behind. And then I really hope that the Switch has good protection, because that's just not good if your shit's like cracked wide open. Like it's bad. Like,
wow.
If I was releasing a 3DS game soon, if I was a developer right now, I'd be like, fuck.
Oh.
Like the scene is, and it's blowing up like crazy. Cause it's not hard. It's not hard to mod a 3DS. It takes like maybe a couple hours of copying and moving files around and booting, exploits. And then boom, you've got like an unlocked system. And it's like, apparently it's like a crazy good unlock that it loads in the kernel before
we're talking like super rootkit below everything, super low level almost.
You can even update to like the newest version, and it's like it doesn't undo it, and you've always got a backdoor restore point. Like it's a super solid like crack. Like it's really fucking cracked.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
Huh.
It's cool for some of the homebrew stuff you can do.
Yeah.
But it's
from
really,
a developer
developer standpoint and Nintendo,
making money off of
I could see why they
games
want to
and stuff.
shut these guys down. Because, yeah.
Right.
So, yeah. Anyway, just thought I'd update you guys on that. Because I play a lot of 3DS, and I was like, let's see what's going on over. Oh, my God. It was pretty much how that ended. I'm like, holy crap, this all makes sense now.
Yeah.
With that, my friend, I'm going to say we're going to have... That's a show. That's a Switch.
That's our Nintendo Switch show.
Yours isn't very loud. Is mine very loud? I just punched my microphone. No, now I can't snap anymore. That was better.
Bah.
Hi, people. Thanks for listening. You can follow me on Twitter at RickFNoK, RICF.
You can always come visit me on Twitter at Dane Cody, at DAYNECODY.
Like us on Facebook. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter at Geekoholics everywhere. Come share a drink with us next week. Share us with your friends. And obviously, hopefully we all get our Nintendo Switch pre-orders. Or I'm going to
come back next week to find out.
To find out.
Ooh.
Or I'm going to be bitching and dropping F-bombs like crazy.
Yeah, he gets like a little child that didn't get his toy.
Alright, until next week, we are out.
Switch you later.
Peace.